Today we're going to be measuring time intervals in minutes, and this is Unit 11, Lesson 3. Our objective today, I will measure time intervals in minutes using different strategies. So boys and girls, here we have a clock. And as you know, a clock for every number, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 12, it is measured in 5-minute intervals. So if you count the small dashes in between each number, it will give you 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So on and so forth around the clock. So just remember, as we go through this lesson, that every number represents a 5-minute increment. So we'll count in fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way around the clock. So that was just a little refresher before we get into today's lesson. So our first question says, what time is it? Solve for the time intervals. So looking at the clock, boys and girls, we see that it is 1:20. We're starting at 1:20. And we want to find out what time will it be 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after. And so let's start off looking at 20 minutes after, which is going this way or clockwise on our clock, because it's just a little easier, in my opinion anyway. So let's begin. Let's count 5, 10, 15, 20. So if you notice, boys and girls, 20 minutes later will put us at 1:40, okay? Because we're on that 8, that's 1:40. And if you look at our little clock on the in the bottom left-hand corner, if you've forgotten, that's a 40 there. So what has happened is that our minute hand has moved all the way to the 8 to read 1:40. Another way that we can solve this problem is simply to add the minutes. And as you get older and you have a real life situation, boys and girls, you're going to probably be doing that method the fastest. So let's take a look. So our minutes here is 20 plus the 20 minutes after, and that would give us 40, like we said. So the time would be 1:40. So now let's take a look at 20 minutes before. So we're subtracting in 5 minutes intervals. So we'll have -5, -10, -15, -20. So now, boys and girls, our minute hand has moved to the 12. So that will put us at, if we look down here, at 1 o'clock. So using subtraction, we could have said 20 minus 20 equals 0, meaning we have no more minutes. So that puts us at 1 o'clock. So that is 2 strategies that we've just taken a look at. Adding and subtracting, or using the clock and moving forward or backwards. So the last strategy that we're going to look at for these problems is the number line strategy. So we're going to begin by putting the time in question, which is 1:20, in the center of our number line. That's first. And then we're going to start counting up in 5-minute intervals. So +5, +10, +15, +20. And at the bottom, we're going to count by 5. So let's go 120, 125, 130, 135, 140. And that's what we came up with before. So now let's take a look if we were to subtract 20 or 20 minutes before. So we have -5, -10, -15, -20. So counting backwards, let's look at the little clock in the left-hand corner. So we have 1:15, 1:10, 1:05, 1 o'clock. Okay, so that is the third strategy we would do using the number line. Let's look at another problem. So here, boys and girls, we're starting at 3:15, and we want to know this time 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after. Now I'm going to once again start with after, going clockwise. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, okay? So imagine now that our minute hand has moved all the way around to the 9, and our 9 tells us that it's 45, okay? So it would be 3:45. If we wanted to take a look at using the addition method, we would add the 15 minutes plus the 30 minutes to give us the same 45 minutes. So the time would be 3:45. Now let's take a look at what happens when we are looking at 30 minutes before 3:15. Okay, let's begin. 5, 10, -5, -10, -15. Now remember, boys and girls, every time that our longhand or our minute hand reaches the 12, it changes an hour, okay? So the hour changes. The hour either goes backwards or forwards, meaning the hour either gets smaller or it gets larger. In this case, our minute hand is moving backwards, so our hour is going to get smaller. So let's begin. 5, -5, -10, -15, -20, -25, -30. So now our minute hand has moved backwards to the 9. Okay, but our hour hand has also moved up. Okay, so let's look at it if we wanted to try subtraction. In this case, we see that 15 minus 30 won't work because our first number is smaller than our second number. So this strategy won't work there. Okay, so this, I'm going to cross that out. Our pen. Oops, picked the wrong one. Okay. That strategy will not work there. So as we can see, when we go backwards, we will land on 2:45. Okay, so 2:45 moving backwards. Let's take a look at our number line starting at 3:15. And again, we are adding in 5-minute intervals up until we get to 30. Now let's begin counting. 3:20, 3:25, 3:30, 3:35, 340, 345. Okay, that's what we came up with. Now let's begin by going backwards. -5, -10, -15, -20, -25, and -30. Let's look at our time. And once again, we can use our clock at the bottom here to help us. So we have 3:10, 3:05, 3 o'clock, 2:55, 2:50, and 2:45. Okay, and like we said before, the hour has actually changed. Now this problem, boys and girls, you will find in your math book, so we can actually do this one together. Okay, so for this problem, we're starting off at 4:30, and they want us to take a look at 25 minutes before and 25 minutes after. So let's begin. We have +5, +10, +15, +20. So we see that the time, if we add, +25. So we see the time, if we add these together, we can say 30 plus 25 will land us on 4:55, okay? Because we're here now. Let's take a look at 25 minutes before, which is minus. So -5, -10, -15, -20, -25. Okay, so moving counterclockwise, we see that we'll land on the 1, and we know that that's related, looking at our little clock, to 5. Okay, so that would be 4:05. If we wanted to subtract, we can say that 30 minus 25 will equal to 5. So we have, once again, 4:05. Now, as you go through these in your math book, boys and girls, you're going to see that they're going to give you an option to fill in the clock, an option for this chart, and then you're also going to have the option for the number line that we'll do in a moment. Okay. Once again, starting at 4:30, counting in intervals of 5, we have +5, +10, +15, +20, +25. So that will give us 435. If we look down here, that can help us. 435, 440, 445, 450, 455. Okay, and now let's look at 25 minutes before. So we have -5, -10, -15, -20, -25. And then we'll go ahead and fill in the time at the bottom. So we have 4:25, looking at our little clock to help us, 4:25, 4:20, 4:15, 4:10, 4:05, okay? And our last problem in the book, we're starting here, boys and girls, at 7:40, and we're going to be taking a look at 30 minutes after and 30 minutes before. So I'm starting at 7:40, and let's get started counting by 5s. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And as you see, we crossed The 12, that means we're going into another hour. So boys and girls, this minute hand has moved all the way around the clock. And instead of it being 7:10, it is now 8:10. So we've moved into another hour. Now, if we chose to do the addition method here, we would have 40 plus 30 giving us 70. Now that doesn't even make sense because there is no 70 on our clock. So this strategy would not work. Okay, so we would have to just go around and know that that time has changed, or the hour has changed to 8, and we've landed on the 2, which is equivalent to 10, so it would be 8:10. All right, so looking at 30 minutes before, let's see what happens there. So we have -5, -10, -15, -20, -25, -30, and again we've landed on the 2, which is equivalent to 10. So our new time here would be 7:10. So 40 minus 30, if we wanted to use subtraction, 40 minus 30 would give us 10, and our time would be 7:10. Okay, boys and girls, so like I said, these are 3 strategies that you can use to solve these problems. You're going to find that the adding and subtraction strategy may or may not work depending on the problem that you're looking at. But you will always have the counting forward and counting back. And then you can always use the number line here. So this is our last number line for the lesson. So starting at 7:40, again, we'll see what it is, what the time is in 5-minute intervals after 7:40. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we'll fill in the time at the bottom, 7:45, 7:50, 7:55, 8 o'clock, 8:05, 8:10. Okay, going backwards now, or counterclockwise. -5, -10, -15, -20, -25, -30. So we have 7:35, 7:30, 7:25, 7:20, 7:15, and 7:10. As you know, you can pause the video where you need to. You can go back, speed it up, whatever you need to help you solve the problems in the final check for understanding. So go ahead, boys and girls, complete the pages in this lesson, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.